Pope Leo and the leadership of the Catholic Church have chosen to enter the public square as moral prosecutors, issuing sweeping condemnations of the United States and Israel, while invoking the authority of Jesus Christ to do so. In support of this charge, Pope Leo cites Isaiah 1:15 and declares that God does not hear the prayers of those engaged in war. That declaration, as presented, is incomplete, selective, and gravely misleading. Isaiah 1 does not end at verse 15. The prophet continues with an unambiguous command: seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, plead the widow's cause. These words are not optional addenda. They are the very heart of the passage. To cite Isaiah while deliberately severing its moral demands is not interpretation, it is manipulation. This is not an oversight, it is a choice. By truncating scripture at the precise point where it demands discernment between justice and injustice, the church substitutes moral theatre for moral responsibility. Scripture is reduced to a prop deployed to condemn outcomes while refusing to name causes, aggressors, or intent. Christ himself explicitly condemned this behavior. In Luke 10 verses 29 to verse 37, Jesus describes religious authorities, a priest and a Levite, who encounter a victim of violence and consciously choose to pass by. They preserve their moral distance. They avoid entanglement. They keep their hands clean while injustice bleeds in front of them. Christ does not commend their restraint. He exposes it as failure. The implication is devastating and unavoidable. Any religious institution that publicly condemns those who confront violent aggression while refusing to speak plainly about those who initiate, fund, and glorify that violence places itself squarely in the role of the priest and the Levite. Moral posture is preserved. Justice is abandoned. The Catholic Church cannot plausibly claim ignorance. Its own catechism articulates the just war doctrine with precision, just cause, and took legitimate authority, right intention, last resort, proportionality, and the pursuit of peace. These criteria exist precisely to judge real conflicts involving real evil, not to be shelved when judgment becomes politically or diplomatically uncomfortable. Yet when confronted with an international system of organized terror, funded, trained, and sustained by Iran and its proxies across Gaza, Lebanon, Iraq, Yemen, Afghanistan, and beyond, the Church's moral clarity collapses into abstraction. Aggressors are blurred, responsibility is diluted, condemnation is redirected toward those responding to violence rather than those engineering it. This is not neutrality, it is dereliction. To speak of innocence while ignoring the intentional use of civilians as shields, the celebration of mass murder, and the systematic targeting of non-combatants is not compassion, it is willful blindness. And when such blindness is clothed in religious language, it becomes something worse, a moral shield for injustice. Scripture does not grant moral authority to those who refuse to distinguish between the attacker and the attacked. Christ does not bless institutions that condemn action while refusing to confront evil. And history does not absolve religious leaders who mistake silence, equivocation, or selective outrage for righteousness. If the Catholic Church insists on acting as a moral judge of nations, it must accept judgment itself. The standard it invokes will be applied to it in full, without selective quotation, without rhetorical escape, and without exemption for institutional prestige. Justice is not served by posture, compassion is not proven by omission, and Christ is not honored by half-truths. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.